Hello, everyone. Hope everyone is doing okay today. Sorry, let's get this situated. Hope everyone's doing all right today. Look, this is the foster kitten. Her name is Nellie, and she is the cutest little thing you ever did see. It's Nellie. All right, in case you guys don't know, today we are talking all about Pinterest analytics. I don't know if anyone has ever seen me talk about Pinterest before, but I absolutely love it, especially if you are in retail or like you're selling any products online, so e-commerce, or if you do anything revolving travel. So before we get started, though, I want to say a massive thank you to our friends over at Streamyard who power this stream. I'm able to stream to Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube all in one easy place, which is here in Streamyard. I forgot. Let me go ahead and get my Periscope up here so I can see when people join us here. Who do we have in here? I can't see. Borguan, thanks for joining in here. All right, so let me go ahead and show you some Pinterest analytics stuff. So in case you don't know, you can have a personal profile or a business profile on Pinterest. It works kind of the same way as like a Facebook page, for instance. So you have your personal Pinterest, and then you can also have a an account that's dedicated just to your business. And when you get a business account, Melicia's here. What's up, Militia? I hope you're doing well. So if you have a business account, then you get access to analytics, and it is a part of what they call the Business Hub. And that is what we're looking at right here. So you can see we have impressions, which is perfectly the same as across any other platform, right? Or our impressions. But we also get our total audience, and that's the number of people that have viewed or engaged with your pins. So and this can be any pins. So it's not just your pins that you've created. So if you don't know how Pinterest works, you have these boards, and then you're able to pin content to the boards. And that content can either be content you create and put onto Pinterest, or content that other people have created and put onto Pinterest. So your total followers is actually or your total audience is actually anyone that has seen your pins or the pins that you have pinned to your boards. So they've just had to have seen those. And then you have engagements. Engagements are a lot of different things on Pinterest. Obviously, they're pins and they're clicks. And you can also pin videos now. So they're video views. They're also pin enlargement. So the way that the feed works, if you want to actually, it has like all the different, essentially like pins, posts. And if you click on one of them to see more, that's considered an engagement. And you can see the actual engaged audience. But again, it's with any of the pins that you've created or that you have pinned. Not just the pins that you create, right? So you could have pinned something from Social Media Examiner, and then somebody else ended up engaging with that pin. That still counts towards your engagements. Just like most platforms, you get this trend line over time. You can split, which is just like compare by device. So you can see mobile versus desktop versus tablet. I find these very interesting because I find it really interesting that if you look at this, the split between mobile and desktop, there's only 100 impression difference. And that tells me that a lot of people are using Pinterest on their computer. If we look at engagements, it looks like they might be more engaged on their phones, but we can also see things like link clicks. That's pretty even, to on the phone, to on the desktop, right? You can see all of these different things here. Let's see, source. your pins versus other pins. Okay. So engaged audience. So it looks like all these engagements are on my pins. Content type. So again, like I said, so there are Pinterest ads. This is just organic versus paid. And then the format, so you have your standard pin, which is usually just a picture, and sometimes has a link attached to it. Your video pins, which are just uploaded video content, and then product and stories as well. Is anyone that's viewing, are any of you on Pinterest or use it for any business purposes? I'd love to hear that. Something that we have seen really recently is a lot of people's impressions and reach has gone down a lot. And I'm not 100% sure why that is. I think it might have to do with holiday season and there just being more competition, but I'm just not sure on that. So all this information obviously is helpful. You can see your top boards. So that's just like content groupings that you create. You can see by impressions, link clicks, etc. But this is what I really like to look at. Just like you would see on like Facebook analytics, where you could see your different posts. You can, and how they've performed. You can see your different posts for Pinterest and see which ones had the most impressions, engagements, all of these. So I can see that when it comes to engagement, the majority of engagements have been on this acronym infographic that I pinned. This is not my content. I did not create this. I just added it to one of my boards. So that's not really helpful, but it is what it is. You know what I mean? Link clicks, again, there have only been 4 and 3 of them have gone to this infographic that I didn't create. So that's a bummer, but that tells me that maybe I need to make some infographics, right? Let's see. So all of that is good information. This is just all of your overview though. And as we all know by now, we can't just rely on that overview. Okay, hold on. Let's wait just one second. I've been toying with the idea of Pinterest for patient education for the hospital I work for. Worth it or no, I haven't been able to justify it just yet, but maybe we could find an audience or just ads. I think I've seen educational content perform very well on Pinterest, not just for like my audience for digital marketing, but also for some of my clients. I have a client that works with Dan. Dan has finally been able to make it live. Welcome, Dan. Good to see you. Hey, popping in on break. Awesome. We're so happy to have you here. But to answer your question, Melissa, I would say that if it's educational content, if you can find like, things about like, maybe if it's just like health related, like meals for a healthy heart or, things like that, all of that I'm sure would do very well. But also, like signs of a stroke, signs of a heart attack, all those kinds of things that you already have content for, especially if you've already been creating content, then it's very easy just to put that content on Pinterest just to see how it works. Now, I will say that Pinterest does want you to be engaged almost every single day, which don't they all want us to be? But it can be as simple as like 5 minutes a day. So if you have the chance to try it out, I would encourage you to do so at some point. Okay, you can also set up conversions. I've not set up, I don't have anything that I sell on my website really, so it's not very helpful. But if my e-commerce friends, this can be really, really helpful. You get to change all this information, attribution windows, things like that. And they do have their own tag, which is nice, especially if you're going to be using Pinterest ads. All right, Militia is headed into a meeting. Have fun. Have fun in your meeting. We'll see you next week. All right. And then you get, video information. So you can see average play time, total impressions. You can see played at 95%, 10-second views. Right. So I can see that this video has had 13 10-second plays. So has this video. So I know that these videos are doing relatively well. Just so you guys know, those are literally just TikTok videos that I've made, and I just upload them up into Pinterest, and they perform very well. Eric is here. Eric, what's up? Good to see you. I hope you're doing well. Guys, don't forget, if you've had a big win this week, go ahead and put them in the comments so we can celebrate. And I'm really excited to have everybody in here today. It's good to see you guys. So again, you can see which videos are performing well. I can see that these are, all of these I think that I've uploaded are small business tips, except for this one, which is just how to use advanced Twitter chats. Those don't do as well. Eric, finally able to attend a chat, and we are so glad you're here. Apple launch day. Lots of people want their 12 Pro Max 5Gs. Yes, they do. I can't believe it's already launch day. Good Lord, that's crazy. Well, that is crazy. Wow. Oh, goodness. All right. But this is something that I really want to show you guys because I thought it was really cool. So they have this audience insights, which I've just been like super kind of like taken back by. So this will show you the most popular categories for my audience. And so obviously you would get your own audience as well. And you can see how interested they are in comparison to the rest of Pinterest, but you also see what percent of your audience is interested in that. So you can see that about 83% of my audience is interested in education. And if I click this little arrow, it shows me the subjects that they are interested in. So I can say, okay, so technology, that might be something that I might be able to help them out with. If I click on this, it shows me the technology, like education pins. And looking at this, I could, determine, oh, this is what I need to create. Excuse me. Right? Because this is what I know my audience is interested in. And like a really interesting one that I found was, for instance, quotes. So about 35% of my audience. So I clicked on quotes and then went to inspirational quotes. And right away, I see a pattern here, right? So I see that they're light whites to light pinks and this turquoisey green color-ish. And I can tell that if I'm going to be pinning things, maybe I need to pin some inspirational quotes using these colors. All right, Dan, good luck. Make those sales, buddy. And then you can see some more colors in here as well. So this is just, I thought this was so interesting and so helpful to find what it is that my audience is looking at and what they're interested in. DIY and crafts, about 66%. People are interested in DIY projects. Again, I don't really know that I can help them too much with that. But all of this is super electronics. This is something I have like my Amazon affiliate stuff set up on here, or I just did that last week. And so looking at these kind of pins, like what kind of pins are people looking at? What do they say? And, what is getting people to click on these specific pins. So I thought that was super interesting. Again, you get to see those categories and those interests, and then what their affinity is in comparison to all of TikTok, or not TikTok, sorry, got TikTok on the brain, Pinterest. Also, you know, you get the age and the gender. You also get location, top metros, top countries. So, you know, the majority is in United States. If I click on the United States, it shows me that, and then I can see the top metros. So a lot of California, some New York, Seattle. And then again, the device, and this is just what I find so interesting, is that 52% of my audience is coming in on desktop. Hold on, this little kitten is crying. The little kitten was crying. Don't cry. And so that kind of changes my idea of what sort of content I should be pushing, because, you know, like people are used to watching TikToks on their phones. And so, you know, I put my TikToks on the pages, but they're also more used to navigating websites and making decisions on their computer still. And so that just tells me that I can put longer form content on my Pinterest or send people to longer form content because they're already on their computer, it looks like. Let's see. Then you can see all Pinterest users, and you can compare to the total audience, or just my total audience versus my engaged audience. So my engaged audience, I actually didn't look at that yet. So let's go back to Beast. Let me go to engaged audience and see what their interest. I don't have a big enough engaged audience. That's probably why. But you can export this. I haven't exported it yet, so I'll be interested to see what this looks like. Okay, so let me share this specific screen for you guys. Share screen. This one. All right, so this is what it looks like when you export that data. So percent of audience, what their affinity is, the interest. Wow. It's not very user friendly. Like you can't really read it a ton, but you see like women's fashion, specifically jewelry and accessories, specifically dress, you know, what have you. Percent of audience, 85%. Interested in science education, photography, art photography, digital art. Very interesting. And then I get the countries, the states, the genders, the device, and the ages. So pretty interesting stuff that you can get from Pinterest in regards to your audience and what it is that, you know, they like and they're interested in. I did not know that was really viable or like available at all. Something else that I really like is trends. So that's part of analytics. Now, these trends aren't specific to you. You have to set your search, obviously. So I'm going to look up analytics. And it takes a second. And it will do a search here. Maybe. Oh, search term wasn't found. Okay. Digital marketing. Okay. So this is the trend over time. So this looks a lot like what we would see on Google Trends, right? It shows your trends over time. So it looks like it peaked September 2nd, but that's still relatively like new. So this is only available in the US, UK, and Canada. One of my TikTok followers did point that out to me. So that's kind of a bummer, but I can see the trends for this. And then if I look down here, it also shows me the popular pins. So people are doing digital marketing toolkit, more traffic and income, skills and demand. What's this one? Oh, I just clicked and this is showing me what they are. So the toolkit, courses, an infographic. So 1, 2, 3 blog posts and an infographic, a couple infographics. It looks like here. Oh, this is a step-by-step guide. So another guide. This one's for SEO specifically. Digital marketing trends. So again, this is just showing you what is popular with that. And then I can look at marketing. So this shows me related terms. And like, this is something that I would never even use usually. But now that I see it, I know that maybe I should use it. But this is marketing strategy, social media. And I can compare the two and see that, you know, this marketing strategy, social media has gone up massively in the last, 6 months. And the same types, well, no, so this is the top ones here are like how to get your TikTok or your business famous on TikTok, guides, infographic, how to promote your business on social media. Social media marketing, 100 questions to ask on social media, right? So again, super useful stuff here. So you can absolutely use this for keyword research as well if you're going to be using Pinterest. But I really, like I said, I really encourage people that if you are doing any sort of retail or e-commerce, selling anything like that, that you should absolutely get involved on Pinterest, or if you are in the DIY space in any way, shape, or form, or the travel space in any way, shape, or form. I am still, working on Pinterest myself, but a lot of these analytics tools I have found to be very valuable. So does anybody have any questions or anything on here? I really haven't seen anybody pop back in here recently. Let's see. All right, guys. Well, while we're waiting for that, if anybody has a question, go ahead and put those in the comments. While we're waiting, this has been another segment of You and Me in Analytics. Every Friday at 12:30, I have a live show where I go over some form of analytics or do some sort of analysis on numbers that I get from somewhere. If you like the show and you would like to support the show, you can go to the link in my bio and buy me a coffee, or you can set up a one-on-one consultation with me. I would love to do that and get your analytics where you need them to be. But all right, it looks like we didn't get any sort of questions or anything like that. Thanks for sticking around. Thanks for hanging out. And I will see you guys next week.